saying of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, इल्म हासिल करना हर मर्द और औरत पर फ़र्ज़ है। तो जब भी कोई आपको बोले कि एजुकेशन नहीं हासिल करनी या आपको रिलीजियस वो दे, तो जस्ट tell them this is what Prophet has said and this is sunnat and this is what I have to do.
Here in India, my daily commute for work changed from this to this. And I'm not alone. The COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped the ways we think about work and offices worldwide. And while for some work from home is causing problems, in neighboring Pakistan it's opening up a whole new world of possibilities for a segment of the population that had been shut out of the workforce: women. In the Global Gender Gap Index, Pakistan ranks 151 out of 153 countries. Its female labor force participation remains one of the lowest not just in South Asia, but also globally. But while societal factors like women being primary caretakers at home have historically kept women out of the workforce, a rise in the online tech jobs and our new pandemic reality has created a new opportunity to a niche part of its skilled labor force: women in tech.
So I'm just going to start recording this.
Sadaf Abed runs Circle, a social enterprise working on reducing the gender divide, especially in the tech sector in Pakistan, by teaching girls how to code and also seek leadership roles.
Why do you think the workforce in Pakistan has such a low percentage of women in it?
One, for example, is access to mobility, transport, which is safe, affordable, accessible. So I think that is a big barrier. Women tend to be dependent on family members, whether it is fathers, husbands, or brothers who pick and drop them. And to facilitate that, we need workforces that are women friendly, that actually encourage diversity and inclusion in their environment. They provide you agile working, for example. So this pandemic has shown us that you can work from home and you can be very productive.
How do you get people from lower socioeconomic class to join in something like tech, which is inclusive but divisive in the sense that people might not have the facilities to join and work in tech?
Right. So we had to literally go out in slums ourselves the first time. I mean, I went out to communities and I spoke to the families, I spoke to tuition centers, I went and spoke to colleges and universities and spoke to women. And then we did a lot of social media campaigns. When I, thought of Tech Karo, I wanted to work with youth and especially young women. 60% of Pakistan is young. And we know this, that women are stuck in underpaid, informal roles and in low growth economies. So I wanted to look at shifting that. And that's how I thought technology could be a great solution.
This actually matches the global problem of women being grossly underrepresented in tech offices, reasons being gaps in science-based projects, bro culture, and sometimes even straight-up bias.
I was in the core school and our lead instructor came in and she was like, अच्छा जितनी भी लड़के हैं उनको पार्ट कर दें और लड़कियां उनको पार्ट कर दें. She took us to another room and she was like, you have to choose home science. And the boys will be given, no matter what their percentage is, what their marks are, they'll be given computer. And it was like, हाँ बड़े कह रहे कर लो ये तो कर लेना चाहिए क्योंकि बड़ों की बात पे. And it was basically our lead instructor. ऐसा सोसाइटी में होता है कि गर्ल्स समझा जाता है कि गर्ल्स के ये काम नहीं है, कंप्यूटर्स जो है ना टेक्नोलॉजी और ये जो ना बॉयज़ का काम है.
In Pakistan, there are a lot of barriers standing in the way of women seeking solid white-collar jobs, including access to higher education. But even for the few who are able to attend and graduate from a university, the realities of the job market often keep them out of the office and stuck at home.
अभी तक एक सोच है कि the working woman or the independent woman is not marriageable kind. ये है हमारी society में. It prevails. My dad, he was like, what are you just doing? And अच्छा मिलेगा क्या करके? And क्यों कर रही हो? क्या फ़ायदा? कुछ नहीं है. घर जाके संभालना है. घर को कैसे संभालोगी? मुझे फिक्र होती है तुम्हारी.
The biggest problem is our women will not go out of their homes. So that is the problem, right? It's a conservative mindset. We won't let you go. So okay, we'll bring the work to you. Is that a problem? No, that's not a problem if they can sit at home and work. That's what we get from the male counterparts. No, that's not a problem if they can sit at home and work. Okay, so we started picking up girls from different walks of life and we started training them on technology. The other thing that basically pulls them back is the male biasness. So, the biasness towards women is something that really pulls them back. Harassment is one of them. The other is they're not getting equal pay. That is the other one. And then I think one of the other reasons is also for them to have a imposter syndrome that I can't do this is one of the other reasons. So I'll be very honest with you. That is one of the reasons with all women.
Getting more women not only increases diversity in the offices but also in ideas. The plus point, if it actually makes the country more money. If Pakistan merely reduces the gender gap in female participation by 25%, its GDP will actually jump up by 9%. That's $139 billion. If they close the gender gap, the GDP will actually increase by 30%. One of the biggest issues is actually safety inside and outside workspaces. Women advocates, lawyers, and lawmakers have won historic fights for new laws to reduce harassment of and violence against women. But the barriers of a patriarchal society are deeply entrenched.
So one of the initiatives that Pasha has is Pro Women. So Pro Women is a very, very simple list of directory listing of all the women in technology who can speak and who are in CXOs, who are in CXO positions that these men cannot find. So whenever they have these panels, why are they always males? Because we couldn't find the right women to be on this panel. Okay, let's build this directory. Let's have all the women here, and then whenever you need, if you're basically building a panel and you need women, go here. You'll find the right women.
Another field where tech could possibly bridge the gap for women in jobs is medicine.
We felt the need to start Sehat Kahanis because we're both female doctors by profession, and at some point of life we felt this pain. In both of our journeys, there was a point where we couldn't work, where we couldn't practice. People come and ask that, we need a doctor. We need someone who's a doctor. And then ask that, do you want the girl to work after marriage? They say, no, we don't want them to work because our culture, our family does not allow us to. So I think we thought that if a female doctor cannot reach a patient, how can you bring that patient to the doctor using the bridge of technology? Since I had initially done this as a pilot on a few patients, I knew that you can see a patient virtually. It might not be the best alternative, but if you don't have a physical connection with the patient, it is the best alternative that you can have as compared to a physical consultation. And we started doing it and it worked.
We started in 2015, but that was under a different brand name. And in 2017, we actually split the company up at that time and we acquired the operations under Sehat Kahani. Pakistan has a huge issue of doctor brides. When we create female doctors in Pakistan, we don't create with the vision of them helping the community. I think middle-class families or people who can afford their daughters' education just want their daughters to become doctors so that they can get a better hand in marriage. They can have good rishtas, eligible bachelors like nice, good-looking female doctors. For our clinics, we are very selective. So for example, we opened a clinic in Dadar and we opened that clinic in a mental hospital which did not have a psychiatrist for the last 8 years. We have a clinic in Machka which is 100 kilometers from Rahimia Khan in rural southern Punjab. वहाँ पे literally quacks भी नहीं है, वो जाली डॉक्टर भी नहीं है, वो इतना rural area. There was no doctor, there was no nurse, there was a guy who used to do deliveries and there were 4 pharmacy shops though, filled with medicines. So we said कि क्या करते हैं लोग, तो उसने कहा जाते हैं फार्मासिस्ट के पास, वो 5-6 दवाइयाँ दे देता है, वो कॉकटेल बना के खा लेते हैं, तो जो लग जाती है वो लग जाती है, जो नहीं लगती वो नहीं लगती. So we are here at Model Colony. This is our first clinic. We have 27 now, but this is our first one. And this is one of our biggest spaces, very close to my heart because in order to start this clinic, it took us 6 months. The first interview that I did for the nurse was sitting here. She and I talked like for 1 hour in which I had to convince her to work with us. She was not convinced initially. She said, मैं लैपटॉप कैसे सीखूंगी, मुझे तो कुछ चलाना ही नहीं आता, मैं तो सिर्फ WhatsApp कॉल करती हूँ. But then I told her that you will, we will make you. Don't worry. She is a pro. She trains other nurses on the software. She's a pro now. She's very good. So this is our main clinic. It has 3 areas. So there's a consultation room, there's an ultrasound room, there's a store, and then there's a main waiting area. Because it's one of our largest spaces, we use this space a lot for health education and promotion. We have a lot of mental health support groups here. So this is kind of like a mini training area for Sehat Kahani as well. And that's the main consultation room. This is Tabinda. She's our nurse. She's my oldest first nurse. And as I said, she's a nurse trainer. She's also a lay counselor for mental health. And I think now she'll show you how we do a video consultation in Model Colony Clinic.
Sehat Kahani is an all-female network of doctors and nurses. Through a video call, a doctor who works from home directs midwives and nurses in far-off areas on standard medical procedures. And this in help brings scientific procedures to women in underserved communities.
यहाँ कम्युनिटी का इशू ये है कि ये मर्दों के पास जाने से ख़वातीन अवॉइड करती हैं, तो हमारे पास ख़वातीन आती हैं बहुत आराम से, अपनी बात डॉक्टर से कह भी सकती हैं, मुतमईन होती हैं और अपनी सीक्रेट बात भी कर सकती हैं कि वो बड़े आराम से कहती हैं नहीं जी हमें ये मसला हो रहा है, जो मसला वो आप किसी मेल डॉक्टर से नहीं शेयर कर सकते हो.
In a country where one woman dies every 20 minutes from complications in pregnancy or childbirth, these video calls can be life-saving.
हम बीइंग अ डॉक्टर हम घर पे भी होते थे तो हमारे पास व्हाट्सएप पे डिफरेंट मीडियम पे लोग क्वेश्चंस कर रहे होते थे कि भाई XYZ डॉक्टर ने हमें ये बताया है तो आप बताइए ठीक है कि नहीं, या छोटी सी कोई स्किन डिजीज़ हो गई या कोई पेट में दर्द फीवर हो गया तो ये बता दें कि ये कैसे ठीक होगा. तो एक्चुअली हम टेली कंसल्टेशन बहुत अरसे से कर रहे हैं, तो यही चीज़ अगर हम प्रॉपर मीडियम के थ्रू कर रहे हैं तो वाई नॉट. और फिर ये कि पैंडमिक ने और ज़्यादा रियलाइज़ करवा दिया सबको कि ये तो अब तो ये हो सकता है. तो आई थिंक कि फ्यूचर यही है, हेल्थ टेलीमेडिसिन ही इसका फ्यूचर है.
Many of these grassroots initiatives like Tech Karo and Sehat Kahani and other IT-related ventures have been women-led and harnessed in Pakistan, both for increasing female participation and also bypassing cultural restrictions.
हम सिर्फ नमाज पढ़ते रोज़ा रखते हैं, हमें लगता है हम मुसलमान हैं. आप मुसलमान तब तक प्रॉपर्ली नहीं होते जब तक आप इस्लाम को लाइफस्टाइल नहीं बनाते. एंड इस्लाम रियली एम्फसाइजेस ऑन गेटिंग एजुकेशन, डूइंग समथिंग विद योर लाइफ. क्यों अल्लाह आपको ऐसे ही बना के छोड़ देगा? जो सही रिलीजन है उसको पढ़ें और जो है ना कल्चर को अपने रिलीजन के साथ मिक्स ना करें और इस्लाम को अपना लाइफस्टाइल बनाएं, तो फिर आपको जो है ना समझ आ जाएगा.